If you're seeing this, then this is your Tarot Tuesday message. Hello, welcome. My name is Lara. We're going to take a look at the week ahead, the next 7 days. We are here on May 20th, 2025, and we're going to look ahead through to Monday the 26th. So, if you're finding this and it's within that time frame, great. This is the energy that we're under, and these are the themes and the patterns and the behaviors, whatever, the energies that we are all underneath right now at this particular point in the space-time continuum. And if you're finding this and it's not that time, then that's great too, because again, these are all themes, patterns. You may be finding this at a different point. And these messages are meant for you. This is what you're dealing with at this particular moment. So we're going to see what the next 7 days has in store for us, what kind of energies we're going to be working with and walking through. I'm just getting a shuffle on my cards because I forgot to do that before I started the video, but just give me 1 second. So yes, welcome to the reading. They're flying all over the place. Still shuffling decks here. I've got the usual suspects, the Oracle of Mystical Moments, our Spicy Oracle, and the Light Seers Tarot. So I feel like we're going to be able to get a good vibe on what's going on over the next 7 days. And also, these are general readings as opposed to a more specific reading. So these are going to be maybe a little bit broader as messages, perhaps. Maybe they will be really specific. I don't know. You know your situation better than I do. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Use your intuition. I encourage you to think for yourself. Okay? I really do. And you know what messages are meant for you. So you can be confident in that. All right? I just hope that you find something that may be helpful, or maybe you find a little insight as you move through whatever week, whatever 7 days is ahead of you. Okay? So awesome. We're going to talk a little bit, astrologically speaking, the week. I mean, there's so much happening. It's a lot to keep up with. But the biggest thing I think to note is the new moon in Gemini that's coming. This is going to be on Monday. Okay, so this is going to put the pin in the end of this 7 days, and it's going to set us up for a whole new week, also a whole new lunar cycle. And Gemini season as well, moving into Gemini season, leaving Taurus, moving into Gemini. Gemini is an air sign, whereas right now we're in Taurus. We're in the very earthy energies of Taurus, and then we're moving into something more airy. Gemini is also the twins, so that the twins representing our earthly selves and our spiritual selves, and how when we bring them into balance, when they're working together, it's harmonious. And when that is off, maybe there's ego in the way, how that kind of gets skewed. So Gemini is all about communication and Mercury, it's ruled by Mercury, so all of those themes are coming into play on the horizon. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And I think we can just kind of go ahead and get in. What do you say? We don't have to waste too much time. Because other than that, I don't really know what's going on. Because there's a lot. There's all the planets are transiting and doing stuff. And I mean, 2025 has just been so crazy that, I mean, this is the best I can do to keep up. And it's the moons. Okay. So, and yeah, But I'm sure something will come up and I'll be like, oh, that makes sense. Like later, that's usually like what happens. I get wind of something. It's like, oh, today's the day that this is happening. And I'm like, oh, that's what that meant in that tarot reading then. Okay, great. Good to know. Yes, more will always be revealed. Also, I think that's going to be sort of the name of the game for this new moon that's coming up. More will be revealed. We'll see. Okay? We'll see. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot to set the mic on this. Is this okay? All right. We're doing this without a mic today because she forgot. And that's just what happens. Okay, great. All right. Speaking of we already had a card fly out with our Oracle of Mystical Moments. So let me get that off the floor. And I think this is so interesting because what we've seen her before. We have Liberty, which is great. Freedom, expansion. The bird here is sitting in the cage, but the cage is open. The woman is sort of shielding, but there's also all these stars in her hair. Okay, there's a lot of, there's dream quality here. Clouds. Okay, we're talking about air energy as well. So all that blue, and 2 for the twins, the Gemini twins. So I think this is really an interesting place to get started. Let's read what it says in the book again. What's we got? We haven't seen her in a while. Let's see what she says. Yes, liberty, choices, confidence, letting go, self-determination. This card shows a woman standing in profile. A birdcage hangs from her hair, and she is about to release her winged friend into the night. The stars and the moon are guiding the bird's way. The woman has plucked a special star from the sky to help shepherd the bird's journey. This card stands for freedom, for the freedom you have to choose your own way in life. Don't let others decide for you. This is your life, and you get to live it. Don't let others decide that for you. Or do. And see how that goes. I didn't like it. You have the power to liberate yourself from both external and internal cages. Many of the obstacles we face are ones we create ourselves. Once we realize we've created them, we have the power to release them. Okay, so more releasing, more freedom. In order to become free, we do have to release and make space for what's coming in. All right, so great place to get started. Ooh, yeah, and on the bottom we have secrets. More like, with communication, more will be revealed. She's got the keys, and the lock is in the moon here. Okay, so I think in this week, so far, what I'm picking up, there's definitely something you are finding out. Whether that is something like an internal realization, or maybe because of Gemini, it is a communication that you receive. First thoughts. Okay, so here we go. Can we please get some spicy oracle? There we go. What do we got? Okay. Let's see here. We have, I'm unsure about which way these go right now, but let's figure it out together. We have You're So My Type. something, whatever. You're so my type. Of course I will. And you're missing out. You're missing out. Of course I will. You're so my type. So what I'm sort of feeling with this, you're missing out. Of course I will. I think there's some sort of realization that like, something maybe you felt like you were missing out on, or you were going to miss out on. And the of course I will is maybe some sort of recognition of that, or it's like an acceptance of like, you're ready to miss out on this, because we're talking about liberty and we're talking about choices and letting go and self-determination. You're so my type. That's giving the self-determination aspect of like staying committed to you. Maybe it's this sense of that you're missing out on something that otherwise you were maybe led to believe that that's the thing that you needed to stay in on. But you're at this point where you're like, yeah, of course I will, because that's not even for me. I'm going to, with you're my type, you're like, that's not even my type that I'm looking for. That's not the life that I'm building. If that's making sense. It's also giving like leaving one version of self, moving into a new, or like leaving one place and moving into something new. Like you're going to miss out on something over here, but of course you will, because you're redirecting, you're making choices, you're choosing to liberate yourself, the self-determination to free yourself from these cages. And yeah, there's like a sense of guidance there. Like divine guidance. Okay. I don't know. Does that make sense? We're finding out together, right? I'm in this just as much as you are. So there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards and see if we can get a little bit more information. I'll take 3 cards, please. And let's see, could we please have some information as to, did you see that? Some information as to what we'll be moving through in the next 7 days. Can I have 2 more cards here? Just 2 more. There's one. Arrgh. I don't know. And could we please have 1 more? There it is. Thank you. Interesting. Okay, let's get into it, y'all. Ew. What do we got going on? Well, yeah, as far as liberty is concerned, the 10 of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. This is our shadow card. The shadow cards representing our subconscious. So this is just beneath the surface. This is driving every situation in your life at the moment, whether or not you're aware of it. It's driving the same patterns and themes throughout different areas of your life. So this could really speak to one or all or what have you. Okay, so the 10 of Cups in reverse, this is an energy of like some sort of end goal, some sense of fulfillment that I think, you know, some sort of happy ending maybe that you were sold on before is not the ending that you anticipated. This is not, there's something about this that you formerly wanted that is not, it's not really working anymore. It's not fulfilling you. And it's not something that you can bank on long term. And it's just not bringing that fulfillment for you. I think a lot of that is because of the ways with the Knight of Wands. Whatever this was, it feels like it was blocking this sort of authentic expression. Maybe there is some, maybe there was some withholding because like that sense of freedom didn't seem to fit into whatever this was, this lifestyle, what have you. I don't know why I want to say lifestyle, but that's what's coming out right now. Yeah, I just get like with the horse, the freedom in this card. The Knights of Wands can be pretty impulsive. They, in general, are coming in bold and brash. And this one particularly, it's very passionate energy. And it's sort of, for me, this is like dancing to the beat of your own drum and really living from a space of authenticity. So maybe you've been getting the message that that's the way that you need to be living at this point, and this is just not working with how you are meant to be aligned. And it's a lot of like, there's a lot of anxiety that you are, I think you have stepped into this place where you're ready to leave this. I feel like this is like the cage, the bird cage, and you're ready to leave this, releasing, as soon as you're leaving, you're releasing so much of this anxiety. A lot of sleepless nights over whatever it is you're walking away from here, which is so interesting. And the Page of Wands behind that is indicating that there's a new chapter that is coming up. I think you're going to be learning much more about what's lighting you up, maybe trying some new things as well. Be mindful of how you keep yourself grounded through this, but it is whatever it is that you are, maybe you're going to start taking a class, or you pick up a new hobby, or you're starting a new chapter in your career and you're kind of starting over. This page is indicating that it is incredibly inspiring, that creativity, it's sparking that light. Because yeah, you can't really explore this new chapter with hanging on to all of this anxiety that you've got coming out. Like you need to, yeah. I'm getting like, she's like, I'm free, right? Like, okay, so like a real sense of freedom here. Yeah, and then death and rebirth is right after that. This is giving like stepping into whole new, oh gosh, and then that's the celebration after that with the Four of Wands. So this is giving like transforming into a new version of you. So that's kind of what I'm seeing happening. Interestingly enough, that's all underneath. And interestingly enough, what's coming out on the table is a really interesting energy. We have the Three of Wands in the reverse position. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. And then the Five of Wands in the reverse position. If you have been waiting for some message or some communication, I think the messages that you've been receiving about moving into this new phase have been pretty unclear with the Knight of Wands in the reverse position. You know, I think there's still something to be said about a limited scope on your end with the Three of Wands in reverse. Like this, you know, where are your horizons still not broad enough? Where are you keeping yourself in the birdcage as far as your thoughts, as far as your plans or your like literal actions, because the Wands energy is fire energy and that's all action oriented. So I'm also here playing it small. Okay. The Knight of Swords, I think there's been a lot of confusing messaging around this, or maybe there's this sense that you like need that permission. Or maybe it's just mixed messaging, because knights tend to be messengers. Yeah, I think still some mixed messaging around playing, the ways in which you are playing it small. And the Five of Wands in the reverse position is keying us in to the ways in which our ego may be in play with that, as far as our drive, our ambition, the ways that we are working with the energy of competition, where we have this in the upright position. This is a healthy sense of competition. This is making you better. This is pushing you to grow. And it's an understanding that it is an understanding that there's place for everybody at the top, just depending on what top they're going to. Okay. Here, I think it's sort of this unhealthy relationship to competition, which may cause some tension, may cause some conflict. I feel like it's an inner conflict because we have this in the reverse position. And I think it's got to do with our Ten of Cups energy and the conflict between feeling and noticing, realizing that this is really actually not what's here to fulfill you. It's been stifling that sense of freedom within you. And the choice is yours as to how you liberate yourself from this. You know, with the idea of the Three of Wands in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse, this is also making me kind of think like, you know, if your mind isn't expansive enough, if your horizons aren't broad enough, you know, your sense of opportunity may be limited. So maybe it's you feel more in competition because you think that there's not as much opportunity as there is, but what you're not realizing, whatever messaging that you're getting here, okay, whether that's internal or external as well. Again, a lot of times it's both. But we had this card secrets at the bottom. So I think this is a week that there's a lot more that's going to be revealed about your ability to broaden horizons for yourself, to think outside of the box and to challenge your way and yourself to grow in healthy ways, as opposed to, you know, also 5 of Wands in reverse is giving me like doing something out of spite as opposed to doing it for any other reason, I guess. So, you know, take that for what that's worth. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I think a lot more, something may be unlocked. You've got the key here. It's just a matter of putting the key in there and unlocking the door, unlocking that cage, the cage that you have yourself in at this particular moment. Because there's something that you feel right, like the missing out, the sense of missing out. But again, the sense of missing out, like maybe it's only a sense of missing out because you are attached to an idea that is no longer serving this individual that you have become. Okay. Within this new beginning. So there you have it. That's what I've got. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if it was. You can leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, share it, all of the things. We love it. You know, let's talk about it if you want. And in the description box, there's all kinds of information if you want to connect with me. In other ways, I'm doing all kinds of things. That description box needs to be updated, so maybe don't look at it just yet. But either way, I hope this was helpful. I hope that this shed some insight on what we have coming up over the next week. And we'll see how we do. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little tense, maybe. But I think overall, the sense of liberty and freedom, the idea of choice, is not making me feel so like it's not a serious kind of tension that that there needs to be any fear about. It feels like a tension, a necessary aspect of tension as part of your expansion that is happening as you're stepping into this new version of yourself. Okay, if that makes sense. So anyway, with that, I will leave you for the week. Make sure to come back and check out next week. We'll have another Tarot Tuesday. I will also have your new moon reading up for you for the new moon. Okay. And yeah, and then we'll go from there. All right. So wishing you all the best moving through this energy. I'm right here with you, and I will see you on the other side.